Hi, this is Mani from BSc to NSE.com. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to check the promoter holding of a particular company. And the reason why this is important is that in the recent market correction, some of the mid caps tanked by almost 50% or even 80%. It fell 80% because some of these companies had high amount of promoter holding which was pledged, and some of these companies also sold some of these pledged shares, so the promoter holding came down, and that started many mid caps to correct heavily. So before you invest in a company, it's always good to check the promoter holding. So go to moneycontrol.com. So you can pick any company you want. Let's first check a company which does not have any kind of promoter holding which is pledged. So basically, normally a company normally pledges shares when they actually go for huge amounts of debt, wherein the banks who are lending for high amounts of debt or consider it as risky, they take the promoter shares into pledging, or the companies can pledge for any other reason as well. So from an investor perspective, pledging promoter shares being pledged is always risky. So I've just hit Infosys. Go to the shareholding pattern. So in the shareholding pattern here, you can just come over here. So you can see that the shareholding of promoter and promoter group, category of shareholder, number of shares, total number of shares. So at the end you have shares pledged or otherwise encumbered. So Infosys, the overall founders, they hold 16% and none of them are pledged. So none of the promoter holding is pledged, so which is a good indication that the promoters just are holding the shares and they haven't pledged it to for anything, for any reason. So let's now check a company like Kingfisher Airlines, which actually took high amounts of debt, and the stock started falling heavily. So let's check that. So here Kingfisher Airlines. So the stock price has almost fallen from 350 rupees to 8 rupees in the last 4 or 5 years. So one of the many bad indicators is that they had high amounts of debt, and you can also see in the shareholding pattern here. So this is Kingfisher Airlines. So as you can see, the promoter holding, Indian promoter holding, it's for corporate bodies, which is holding 32%, and all 32%, 100% of that is pledged. So shares pledged or encumbered, you can see here that it is all pledged. So this is a very bad indication. Even the banks who are giving loans, they know that the company is taking huge amounts of debt, but they still give huge amounts of debt and taking the promoter holding into pledging. So this is always risky. It's always risky to invest in a high promoter pledging share. So just make sure before you're investing, check whether the promoter holding is pledged. If it is, then probably stay away from the stock. Um, Subscribe to my channel for uh, any other future videos and to keep in touch. Any questions, any queries, you can post on this video, or you can log on to bsc2nse.com and post it there as well. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.